came to the United States in 1995 and to the county a bit later. And when I started working with the Latino community in this area, the first thing that we did was to conduct a needs assessment, because no one knew what was happening with this community. So we were able to document what the young people were undergoing, what the parents were undergoing. What that needs assessment told us that there were almost no services for these communities, and because we saw a county that was willing to partner, to work together, it was enough for us to move here, and we settled in Montgomery County. And that led to almost 25 years of service, and I find it to be a privilege to serve this community. They have tremendous skills, intelligence, work ethic, but sometimes people need a little lift in order to get there. And I know that I got that lift when I came to this country. If others had not believed in me, I wouldn't be where I am, and I wouldn't have been able to serve the people that I love. Our communities were not advancing, in education, in health, etc. So I met Byron almost 4 or 5 years ago. We became friends, and we talked about starting an alliance for Black and Brown to work together. And it was not easy, because our communities did not trust each other at that point. We began testifying jointly. Now we will go either together or one after the other and support each other's testimonies, particularly in the area of education. And then one day we said, okay, let's make it formal, and we created the Black and Brown Coalition. And a few months later, we were able to bring close to 1,200 people, Black and Brown, grassroots, who believed in us, who believed in the mission, together, because they understood that together we made up 54% of MCPS's student population. But we had no power, and others were dictating what was happening to us. They did not understand us, they did not respond to our needs. So we decided that building this coalition would bring power to the two communities. The methodology of the Black and Brown Coalition is that we use data and we inform the community about that data in a way that people can digest it and understand it, and that it pairs with their experiences. And people felt very empowered and upset because of what they were seeing. We are seeking a shift in power, in the power dynamics. Our populations have not had power, but we are, as I said, the majority when we work together. So during the past few years, the achievement gap, inequities, they all pre-existed COVID. The coalition was founded before COVID. But what COVID did is exacerbate those inequities, and people saw them. At the same time, the county became very conscious about inequities and racial injustices, and the county began to move in that direction too. So I think that we formed ourselves at the right time, in the right place, and the future is a joint Black and Brown communities working together, demanding what we deserve, which is equity. This is not a zero-sum game where in order for us to succeed, others have to fail. That is not the case, but we will continue to push and hopefully become bigger. Maybe other jurisdictions will learn about the transformative change that can happen as a result of these communities coming together. When I see individuals, families, community members who for years have accepted the status quo, that have taken a lot of bad things and thought that that was the norm, that felt completely disempowered, to see the change in them, to see them become demanding, aggressive, having new tools to protect their children and their children's future, it fills me with joy. I do not take it as an award for me. I'd be happy to be the recipient of it, but it's in the name of thousands of others who allowed me to be where I am, and who work day in and day out with me to make things happen. And by that I mean people who have very little, that put a lot of trust on what we do, that when we tell them this is happening and we show the data, they believe us, they leave work to come and show support, they entrust us the future of their children. So it's a huge responsibility, and that fills me with tremendous amount of gratitude, if you will. Gratitude that they gave me an opportunity, and at the same time, a recognition that I did some good with my life.
Diego has been a long-time effective advocate for young people in need and in crisis. But he has been more than that. He has always continued to insist on accountability. Many people champion causes and are good at that, but Diego has never been satisfied when someone says, we're going to look into it, we'll deal with it. He follows up. He's driven to make sure that when we say we'll do something, we actually do it. Diego's dedication and good work spans decades, and I want to especially remark on some of his more recent work with Byron Johns to create the Black-Brown Coalition. The creation and work of the coalition is incredibly important. The Black-Brown Coalition brought together the two largest minority groups who face common issues and common struggles, particularly in the schools and with social services. The coalition has brought together multiple communities and demonstrated the power of one voice united. The work has shown that 1 + 1 is much greater than 2. Where some people try to find the differences, the Black and Brown Coalition highlights the commonalities. It's not surprising to anyone who knows him that Diego would take on this work of building coalition and community and to demand accountability. We are lucky to have him working on behalf of so many in this county. Congratulations, Diego.